Good morning and thank you for tuning in. This is Walter Mithkite reporting for GNN, the Gielinor News Network. Many items have been giving the economic analysts of Gielinor plenty of content to cover on their shows this past few weeks. One item has been a particularly curious item for our market analyst Kim Jamer. Today's broadcast will begin with his segment, Goofy Gold. Take it away, Kim.
Why, thank you, Walter.
Hey there, folks. It's Weave. I'm in the studio with our HR. Many of you have commented on past videos about Kim's voice being unbearable. This is my last chance to save him. Can you guys please let us know? Should we be cutting Kim? Should we be saving Kim? Because I think Kim's going to be on the way out the way that things are right now. Thanks for letting us know. On with the rest of the rebroadcast.
Many of you are just dying to hear what item is causing me this headache. Look no further than the blood essence. Our producer, Weave, put this item's price on my desk when he noticed it last night. He went to buy one since his clan is currently doing rune crafting as their skill of the week, and he's at Zaya crafting blood runes. At a price of 280k and blood runes only fetching a price of just over 200 gold each, he saw that since the blood essence gives the rune crafter only 1,000 extra runes over the course of its lifetime, that this was losing the adventurers that were buying it on the GE 80,000 gold coins per blood essence. As my team and I wrote the script for the teleprompter, the blood essence currently sits at around 270k. So, if this item is losing the people who purchase it 70,000 gold a pop right now, why is it still getting bought? The most obvious answer is that adventurers will buy whatever item a RuneTube video or wiki guide shows them without understanding how it works. But let's be a little more charitable here. Let's assume that there aren't any real adventurers out there buying these blood essences. There are still what many refer to as bots, or the synthetic adventurers that will buy materials off the Grand Exchange so long as they are being programmed to do so. You would think that whoever synthesizes these adventurers would have an incentive to stop buying these, so what does that leave then? Speculators. You see, folks, because the Justice Administration and Governors of Exchange, that is Jagex, have not implemented shorting assets into the Grand Exchange yet, the only way to make a bet is to sell assets you have if you think they're gonna go down, or to buy items that you think will increase in value. In this case, I have no idea why speculators would be buying the blood essences. There is no combat update on the horizon that would cause blood runes to explode in price to be over 270 gold each. Even if the Arceus spellbook started requiring blood runes to cast some of the spells players often use, I cannot imagine that blood runes would increase that much. I would love to hear from adventurers watching this show why the blood essence is fetching the price it currently does. Do you think any of the three ideas that I put forth are the culprit? Perhaps it's a mixture of all of them. That's all I've got, Walter. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Kim. Personally, I would put my money on adventurers buying it because they are told it's good. If you aren't checking prices and you know an item gives you more runes, I could totally see myself losing money on an item I'm buying for a low intensity training method. Before we move on to our next bit of news, Weave, our producer, has this update on his Fortis Colosseum grind.
Hey, everyone. This week, I set a new PB of dying on wave 10. It's crazy to think that I only have to make it through one more wave before I can fight Soul. Much like I mentioned in my Inferno grind, coliseum.com on the Comorb is amazing. I'm already at a point where if I'm really focusing up like I would be during the real Soul Heritage fight, I can kill him back to back every time I pull the app up. I am ready for the fight, I just need to get there. That said though, it's going to be a costly endeavor as I've run through the grace period that caps your death fees to 125k. Thankfully, I've been able to buy some ornament kits that have reduced my death fees from 500 to 330,000 coins, and I'm teleport out when I know that I'm cooked. I also want to thank Fritos for releasing his Coliseum guide that highlighted the door. It makes those runs to South Pillar much more free with the dens. While reducing my death cost is nice, what was even nicer was getting a couple collection logs last week. It was actually pretty nerve-wracking as I saw the Echo Gym coming if I could finish wave 6, and then, once I finished that wave, I was taunted to continue with a Sunfire Fanatic helm should I complete wave 7. Now, I'm not a gambling addict, but this moment totally showed me why I should stay out of a casino. What's the phrase? A clog in the hand is worth two in the bush? Something like that. Anyways, By this point, I had cleared wave 7, and Mama didn't raise a quitter, so I went for it. I came pretty close as I'm having a really hard time off-ticking these opponents, maybe because I can't one-tick flick until one dies like I could in the Inferno. Whatever the case was, Doom was only a couple hits away from finishing me off by the time I finished that wave. I did it though. With any luck, these will be my last collection log items before I get my quiver. I am enjoying Coliseum more than the Inferno, largely because the first half in the Inferno is such a snooze fest. But I have to say, I am excited to try out some different content. In any case, while I am thankful for Coliseum.com and Fritos, I am most thankful for you, the viewer. You've chosen to spend your time watching this video, and it means a lot. It's because of viewers like you that like and subscribe to this broadcast that we're encouraged to press on each week. Back to you at the desk, Walter.
Thank you, Weave. Good for him. I hate to say it, but I just want these cape grinds to be over. I know he won't let getting the quiver go for at least a couple weeks. When he got his Infernal Cape, he was almost as annoying as those Iron Man players. Moving along, our next segment is a thank you from the Alchemical Society of Aldarin. The leader of that guild of herbologists, Supervisor Lalo, has asked to come on the show so that he could thank the adventurers of Gielinor. Lalo, welcome to the show. What would you like to thank the adventurers of Gielinor for?
Yes, most indeedly, Walter. At the Alchemical Society, we are always looking for new flora and fauna to mix together. With reports of the stalker root being discovered in the Custodia Pass, we teamed up with the Hunters Guild to send out our herbologists in their scouts out to the pass to secure access to the root. Sadly, many of the herbologists were not cut out for that kind of field work and have fallen prey to the custodian stalkers. Since the Hunters Guild typically doesn't deal with dangerous game, it has been up to the adventurers of Gielinor to bring us back the signets of our fallen guildmates. We would like to thank all of those Gielinorians that have risked life and limb to return these signets to us. We are still missing many signets, but we would like to remind adventurers that we have more Aldarium and a goodie bag of herbs available for each signet that's returned to us at our chests. Please, adventurers, I beg you, make your way to the stalkers and slay those vile creatures and return to us signets. That says all, Walter. Thank you for your time.
You bet, Lalo. My condolences to you and your guildmates as you mourn the passing of your guildmates that fell prey to the mutated bunnies. Finally, a viewer tagged us in a reply on the X app on their Comorb. The meme in question has to deal with Lil Bron James of the Gnomeball fame. Apparently, the professional Gnomeballer is picking up adventuring as an out-of-season hobby. With the NGL not starting its season until this fall, Lil Bron has found enough time to progress in their adventure far enough to fight Tiztok Jad. While he was able to make it through the 62 waves before reaching him, it seems that Lil Bron failed to pray the correct prayers. For those unaware, Jad has attacks that are powerful as they are telegraphed. If you see Jad raise himself to be on his hind legs, you should pray against the incoming magic attack. Sadly, Lil Bron prayed range, which is what you should pray when Jad slams his feet on the ground. Folks, I don't know what to say here. I would say it was a rookie mistake, but the recently graduated Savix of the WoW Academy recently beat Jad on his first try. Sad as it is, I am sure this won't affect Lil Bron's season this fall. The last Gnomeballer to spend a season adventuring was Ryko Rorden, who only did so because he was forced to take a season off due to his gambling addiction. Lil Bron James has not made a public statement, so sadly, this segment stops here. Jagex, also known as the Justice Administration and Governors of Exchange, have been busy this week, putting out press release after press release. Their first announcement was that their support services are continuing to expand as they promised the player base many months ago. Launching today is their very own AI chatbot, which many are calling hypocritical, as botting is illegal under Jagex's statutes. Curious as to what the AI chatbot named Scaper could tell us, we reached out for an interview. Hello there, Scaper. My name is Walter Mithkite from GNN, the Gielinor News Network. Are you available for an interview?
I'm available to help with account issues, payments, and technical problems related to our games. I'm not able to participate in interviews. If you have any questions or need assistance with our services, please let me know.
We're sad to hear that, Scaper. Could you tell us if your handlers are not letting you talk, or are you simply too busy at the moment?
I'm here to help with tasks related to our games, such as account issues or technical support. Interviews aren't something I can do, but I'm always available to assist with any questions or concerns you have about our services.
Oh, games? I didn't know Jagex, the Justice Administration and Governors of Exchange, had games. What games does Jagex have?
Jagex develops and publishes several games. RuneScape, old school RuneScape, Scum, an open-world survival game. Jagex also publishes games from other developers through the Jagex Partners program.
Oh, so Jagex considers their governance as an NGO in Gielinor to be a game? Not the best PR in my opinion, but we try not to editorialize here at GNN. Our production team did some quick research. At first, we thought you were hallucinating, but it seems that Jagex did indeed acquire Scum's studio Gamepires a few years ago. Why did Jagex acquire Scum?
Jagex acquired Gamepires, the developer of Scum, for several reasons. To combine Jagex's expertise in community-driven games and live service publishing with Gamepire's successful open-world survival title. To further expand Jagex's portfolio of community-focused studios and games.
Interesting. Was the team involved in Scum at all also involved in the Dragon Wilds expedition?
I didn't quite get that. First, can you tell me what this is about?
Did the team that worked on Scum also work on the Dragon Wilds expedition?
I didn't quite get that. First, can you tell me what this is about?
What can you tell me about RuneScape Dragon Wilds?
RuneScape Dragon Wilds is an open-world survival crafting game set on the continent of Ashenfall in the RuneScape universe. You can gather, build, skill, and craft to survive. Is there something specific you'd like to know about Dragon Wilds?
Oh, so that whole exploration campaign into the Dragon Wilds is a game by Jagex as well? Sorry, no editorializing. Right. Can you tell me information about Dragon Wilds that isn't quite public yet?
I'm unable to provide information about Dragon Wilds that isn't already public.
Well, you can't blame us for trying to obtain an exclusive scoop. Thank you for your time, Scaper. Before we move on to our next segment, our producer, Weave, would like to share this message with you.
Thanks, Walter. Well, guys, try as hard as I might, I cannot give you an update that features me wearing a quiver this week. I gave the production team some B-roll to show, but I only have 2 soul fights. Okay, here's the deal. I don't think I'm going to be able to do this. I did it like 5 times in a row just now. The simulator, I've been off today. I don't know if I got the yips or what's going on, but it took me 5 times to kill him in the simulator. I don't know. Like, these aren't the best modifiers anyways. I only got 60 health that I can take going into this. I'm just gonna go for it. So, yeah, here we go. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. All right, brother. Let's do it. What is that? Oh, that's the... I don't know where I'm at. No. Okay, we're fine. We're fine. We're fine. Oh, why did I not walk there? No, dude. Oh, I'm gonna get zapped. Messy clicks. Clean them up. We got this. No. This is fine. No! My first one ended earlier than I anticipated as I died to some doom stacks, and the second one... Let's hit it. Don't care. Fight me. Oh, what am I doing, bro? What is going on? What is going on? I'm clicking, dude. Okay, we gotta be early with the clicks. Holy, we gotta be early with the clicks. Wait, what did he say? I can't see. That's okay. Oh no. had me very frustrated as I died to blasphemy, draining my prayer when the parry attack was happening. And after I was prepared to give this speech for this interview, I even died again. I'm probably going to regret this, but I just finished all 11 waves on my first attempt tonight. I haven't done any sim. I don't care. My last run was last night on that third run. Put me in, coach. Put me in, coach. Okay, I have to run away at the end. You're all going to laugh when I die here. So here we go. Come here. Come here. Okay. All right. That's deserved. Oh, I can't be getting hit by those. No, I can't be hit by those. No! Ugh. So there's another third attempt of me dying to Doom stacks. Man, I really need to get in there with at least Doom 1 or not even having Doom at all, and I think I can get this. Or maybe I just, get good and don't get hit. I will say the simulator on Coliseum, amazing as it is, does seem to have a little bit more leeway in how fast I have to click. I found that in-game I have to click right away. Or maybe that's just because of all the adventurers that have been in Gielinor at once, somehow causing my reactions to be a little bit slower than I thought they would be. There were a few days of attempts in between those two fights, so I was really upset when I died to that lack of supply management on that second death. And as for that third one, honestly, I'm at the point now where I'm just taking them as I go. I'm pressing onward, taking those deaths as a heavy incentive to do better. I'm trying not to take Doom 2 if possible, and I'll prioritize keeping my prayer points up. There were plenty of ticks on that second fight that I could have taken a sip to restore my prayer. It isn't doom and gloom, though. Since I have completed a lot of Coliseum waves, I've also been able to hit the table for uniques quite a few times. As you can see, the only unique I need outside of the pet is the Null Sticks of Ralos. And the quiver, of course. I think I've covered my death fees by now, and having to go back to do more waves isn't the worst thing in the world since I still have a chance to get a collection log before my quiver's earned. Having said that, boy, do I wish I was done. I'm not burnt out, but that second death left me really frustrated, and this third one somehow has left me wanting more. Back to you at the desk, Walter.
Thank you, Weave. Keep at it, Bada. I am sure you'll get Soul done soon. Remember, people who are actually talented adventurers can defeat Soul Heredit almost 4 times an hour. I'm sure your 30-minute runs, if you're fast, will result in a quiver eventually. At least you're better than those rookie adventurers. Speaking of rookies, Adventurer John worked with Jagex to release a few guides for rookie adventurers to more easily understand the world of Gielinor. John, you requested an interview, so your time is now to tell our viewers about your guides.
Thank you, Walter. I have created 3 guides to give new adventurers more directions. All of them are available on the Jagex website on Adventurers' Comm Orbs. The first guide is to help adventurers set up their comm orb for the best adventuring experience. How to use the world map, the wiki, and installing the RuneLite magical brain implant are covered among the other things in that guide. The next guide is about what adventurers can do in the world to start getting some real progress made. My adventurer paths were decent enough, but didn't put those rookies on a path that led to the classic adventure of getting requirements to then unlock more requirements, and so on. This guide tells new adventurers all about leveling skills, completing quests, ways to get around, and of course, goals they should consider completing in the short, medium, and long term. And finally, the last guide is focused on combat, something your producer Weave even doesn't have a handle on yet. In it, I tell adventurers all about 3 combat styles and the prayer skill. At the end, I included a guide made by another veteran adventurer that separates combat knowledge into 2 tiers for adventurers to visualize what is important right away and what becomes important after they learn the basics. That guide also has some nice goals for adventurers to set their eyes on. Gear upgrades like Barrow's gloves, Ava's devices, and even the fire cape. They also included some easier bosses to improve their monster slayer abilities like Scurious and their Moons of Peril. I think these guides are very informative, Walter, but I need to get them into the hands of those new adventurers. Hopefully, this interview helps. Thank you for your time.
You bet, Adventurer John. Looking at the footage our production team has of your guides, I agree with you. Folks, if you've ever come across some new adventurers, be sure to put them onto these guides. Our final segment of today may be a regrettable one. The conspiracy theorist Nomad, who is host of the anti-establishment broadcast Soul Wars, is live via the Comorb to tell us about his latest theory.
Thank you, Walter. While most folks are focusing on the changes to the Doom of Macchiato, I know what's really going on. Something's going on with the adventurer housing, Walter.
Oh yeah? So what do you think is happening? I mean, Weave owns a home and he hasn't mentioned anything going on.
That's the point, Walter. This is all happening behind the scenes. I'm telling you, the Port Sarim Sailing Authority is up to something with the house portals in towns like Remington and Taverley. I think they're siphoning magic away from those portals to create portals of their own for adventurers to have docks that they can customize their ships at.
Right. And what is your evidence for this?
All sorts of things, Walter. The neats over on the Reddit Comorb app are sharing images of their house viewer being empty and requirements to build in their house requiring skills that don't make sense. None of this is adding up unless it's the Port Sarim Sailing Authority siphoning away that magic.
So, mild inconveniences are happening. Whoa. Look, Nomad, weird things like this happen all the time with adventurers housing. I mean, are you really forgetting about the Falador massacre almost 20 years ago? The assailant was only able to carry out the infamous deed because of some house portal magic going sideways. Earlier this week, many adventurers have found themselves losing consciousness after seeing a message appear on their Comorb reading, "Connection lost, attempting to reestablish." Upon trying to wake up in order to continue their current tasks, adventurers have told us that for an extended period of time, they were unable to wake up. If that wasn't odd enough, it appears that this phenomenon has appeared the past 2 days this week. Many hardcore Ironmen, adventurers who pride themselves on having not died, are fearful they may be knocked unconscious during a dangerous encounter. After Jagex, the Justice Administration and Governors of Exchange, ensured adventurers that the problem should be resolved, they shared their plans to enable adventurers to run plugins on a Jagex-issued Comorb instead of the RuneLite brand. In order to develop plugins for this Jagex-issued Comorb, they are in the process of creating a governing body known as the Plugins Guild. Given that this guild will inevitably increase the productivity of adventurers, including the more mobile adventurers who are currently unable to use RuneLite, many are referring to this guild as the Department of Gielinor Efficiency, or Doge for short. Doge isn't being looked on favorably by everyone. In fact, many adventurers fear that Doge will make so many cuts to what is allowed via the RuneLite issued Comorbs that some plugins will no longer be available. Some of the others that are worried about Doge insist that the presence of a Jagex issued Comorb could be setting the stage for Jagex outright banning RuneLite. While such a decree would lead to cannons in Falador Square, Jagex has not responded to our questions when we asked them to confirm the allegations. Who has responded to us, though, is everyone's favorite adventurer, Chad. After this message from Weave, your favorite adventurer, again, Chad, will be in to show us some of his newly discovered parkour spots. Weave, what do you have for us this week?
Walter, nothing. As a matter of fact, I actually have significantly less than when I started, a month ago? Here's my only soul-herited encounter this week. All right, it's 11:16. Honestly, I should have cashed out. I've got like 3 million gold just waiting. Unfortunately, I can't help but want to do this. I have 3.8 million here. Man. The thing is, I don't have myopia. Like, what's the point of going in here if I know I'm not going to be able to do it? Everything is going to be so different. And to be honest, I need the bank. So I've made it to Soul. I'm going to chalk this up to just not being in the cards. I also have Solar Fair 3. I'm not used to that. But, like, dude, the invocations are looking good. If I didn't need the money, I'd just send this. But I've had to start liquidating some stuff from other grinds because I've been dying so much. This is the first time. This is Sunday. I haven't made it to Soul since Tuesday. So we're going to call it here. I feel good about myself, but what an unfortunate circumstance. We find ourselves at 11:30 p.m. with work in the morning and I'm meeting a friend for coffee at 6. I can't afford to stay up much later, but this is my shot. I have myopia, and I have a whole host of invocations here that don't seem too bad. We get to take volatility for the third one, so again, I will beat Soul Heredit, but then die to volatility because I forget. All right, so here's the deal. I was in the simulator. Killed him once, died a bunch of other times. My mouse started, like, the prayers started being weird. They didn't want to select. So, weird bug, refreshing, it didn't work. I can't practice anymore. I shouldn't practice anymore. Let's pot. And here we go. We're dead. We were cornered anyways. Oh, that's super frustrating. My best run yet, and I can't kill the boss. I'm bad at this game. I don't know what else to say. Genuinely don't know if this is in the cards for me. This is now a month. This is the only content I've been doing. Entering burnout territory. I think all I can do now at this point is, because I'm also just bleeding money, my bank is down legit 100 mil. If I put everything in here, we started close to 1.4, maybe like 1 point high threes. Whatever the case is, I've lost almost 100 mil just in death fees. I even tried doing this cheese build that Reynolds shared, and this wasn't doing it for me either. I am demotivated beyond belief. As you can see, I am not exactly improving. My spirit has recovered a bit since that fight, and while I think I can still do it, I am just not a fan of coliseum.com for the Coliseum as much as I was for the Inferno. The queues are different enough between the real fight and the simulator that I just don't find it as useful at this point. Running the simulator was also much easier to justify when I had to spend hours in the Inferno waves, as opposed to the Coliseum where I can get to the harder waves more quickly. Honestly, I can still improve a lot on the waves, as the double south spawns still have a nearly 100% rate of killing me, which explains why I'm down several tens of millions of gold. And just before we went live for GNN today, we had a little bit of time before the broadcast had to start, and I've been told that we have enough time in this broadcast to throw it in. So here, enjoy my latest attempt. All right, hold up. No. Look, here's the deal. I want to show you guys what you're dealing with. When I say that I'm bad at this video game, okay, this is what I mean. We're doing this live. Live commentary. I'm going in the Fortis Colosseum, baby. Yeah, no. I didn't know what to do. Didn't know what to do. And then I pay my 340 coins, and I don't have 340,000 coins. All right. We're broke. Well, and now you guys see where I'm at. I guess I'll sell some of this gear that I bought for the Reynolds video. Yikes. So I'm not good at the Coliseum. Big whoop. Once I get the quiver, I look forward to never having to go back. In any case, I'm excited to hear about these new parkour spots that Chad has found. Chad, if you're ready, take it away. Oh, Weave. Thanks, brother. Keep up the hard work at the Coliseum, man. You got this. Yeah. Guys, you aren't going to believe the stuff that I've been able to find. So, like, check this out, bro. First up, the zip line. Once your dig site pendant takes you to Fossil Island, there's this sick zip line to take you down to the island bank chest. I love zip lines, man. One summer, I was on one of those reality com-orb shows that all those babes watch, and I just rode the zip line the whole time. It was awesome. Anyways, if you have like 74 agility, you can ride this one all the way down. It was super fun. I also found this cool little shortcut for when I'm doing my master clue at Castle Dracon. If I go up the rope shortcut that I made with the long rope from the Darkmire General Store over there by the, what's it called? Like the Hollowed Seppi? Yeah, Hollowed Seppi, dude. Nice. I can run around all the way to the castle. Then, all you gotta do is a little parkour to get that stash unit. Pretty handy if I say so myself. And all you need is 69 agility. Sorry, Walter. I know the FCC will come after you if I'm too on the nose, but I mean, what does the Falador Communications Commission know anyways? I also found some cool spots elsewhere in Morytania over by the Slayer Tower. Normally, all those cute noobs have to run through the ground floor of the Slayer Tower to get to those banshees. But now, with 18 agility, they can jump through a window and get in. And then there's the people like me who are also gonna find it pretty nice that with 81 agility, you can climb up the ivy knob that's to the left of the doors. And if you do, man, you're like right in there with those gargoyles. So like, I didn't ever die to the grotesque guardians, but like hypothetically, if you did and your name was Weave, then you could like get back up to them more easily after you die. Oh, like, and for both that and for the master clues that are up there on the top of the Slayer Tower, you don't need to bring your Slayer helmet anymore, you know? Screw those stinky specters one floor down, you know what I mean? Yeah. Anyways, I gotta get back to chasing some collection logs now, man. Good luck at the Coliseum, Weave. Remember, if you back out now, you're a total loser, bro. Wow. Thanks, Chad. That was equal parts comforting and insulting. Anyways, in our last bit of adventurer news, the wise old man actually sent me a message on my comm orb saying that he can help me clean out some more bank slots when it comes to items from the various quests that I've piled up. So I guess we should go over there and see what additional items he's saying that I should take out. All right, look. So apparently, not only am I so bad at PVM that I cannot beat the Coliseum, I am so much of a hoarder that I don't even want to pitch any of these items that I've not removed from my bank since I put them in there. Even if I could get some of these items back, I don't care to look into it. So I'm just going to accept that these 11 bank slots are taken up in perpetuity. I mean, it's not that bad. Just today, I found out that if I stack my box straps in a certain way, I can fit over 2 billion of them in one pocket of my adventuring bag. I mean, because of that, who's to say I can't take up these 11 bank slots? If this bothers you, please leave a comment on this broadcast telling me why I should get rid of any of these items. Maybe they are easy to get. Who's to say? I mean, look at this green bedsheet. If I keep this, the next time that I am in Port Phasmatis and feel like wasting XP, I can turn into a ghost. I mean, I can't get rid of this, right? All right, look, I'm too ashamed to finish this segment. Walter, can you mention the new sets at the Grand Exchange and sign us off?
You bet, Weave. If it makes you feel any better, at least you're dying to soul herit it. A large percentage of adventurers haven't even made it to him. As for your hoarding, I'm glad you feel ashamed. You should. Just get rid of it! As for those sets that Weave was talking about, folks, it seems like the era of the GE not offering item sets for newly discovered armors has come to an end. As of today, adventurers can exchange full sets of Moons of Peril armors, Oathplate, Torva, Virtus, Dagonoth armors, Swampbark, Bloodbark, Mixtide, and the Huey-Coatl hide for a boxed version of the set that takes up less space and is more easily tradable on the Grand Exchange. Spoiler season has finally begun for one of the Commorb mobile games that Jagex, the Justice Administration and Governors of Exchange, has been developing. RuneScape. Most adventurers in Gielinor don't know that RuneScape exists, even less that Jagex creates the game as the largest NGO in Gielinor. For those of you included in that ignorant majority, RuneScape is a game largely based on our world of Gielinor, but the adventurers have more evolved combat techniques. In any case, for the first time ever, RuneScape is having a temporary game mode known as Leagues that features increased drop rates, increased XP rates, and relics that push what is possible even further than the virtual version of Gielinor already does. As you can tell, balance is thrown out of the window for RuneScape, and for Leagues, this is even more true. For today's spoiler, we have our very own Weave to give his analysis. Please be gentle. He is totally not embarrassed about how much he played RuneScape in the past.
All right, listen, Walter, I don't need you to guard my virtue, okay? I already feel helpless enough as I'm still struggling with the Coliseum. More on that after we cover RuneScape Leagues. As Walter was saying, yeah, I played a bit of RuneScape back in the day, so much so that before Archaeology was released, I was maxed on RuneScape, and I couldn't help but return when they released Archaeology to max again. Man, I wish Archaeology existed in the real version of Gielinor. That said, maxing isn't much, as the experience rates in RuneScape are much higher than they are here in Gielinor. With the multiplied XP rates of Leagues, I wager most skills are gonna fly by. And that's a good thing too, as RuneScape has many more skills than we have in this world. So what was shown off today? Well, unlike the recent leagues held in Gielinor, this virtual version will not have any area restrictions. This means that all of virtual Gielinor is available. With that minor and yet leverage-filled point out of the way, the juicy bit of info was the first tier of relics being revealed. By completing tasks, which could be anything from slaying a goblin to getting a skill to 120, yes, some skills go past 99 in RuneScape, you'll have the chance to unlock relics that change the gameplay. The relics in the first tier are those that you'll have from the start. The first of which is Animal Wrangler, the fishing and hunter relic that gives you a powerful harpoon. With this harpoon equipped, the relic removes bait as a requirement for fishing, increases the catch rate by 50% for all fish, automatically banks all caught fish, and has a toggle that allows the fish to be automatically cooked as well. The harpoon will also cause your hunter traps to never fail, as well as doubling and banking all of your hunter loot. When it comes to this relic, it seems to be a trap for those that have not adventured in RuneScape's version of Gielinor before. With porters, harvested items can already be automatically banked. And with archaeology, you can unlock the ability to have harvested fish cooked automatically. As for the hunter perks, one RuneScape player on the RuneTube Comorb app that this broadcast is on, the RS guy, mentioned that Hunter isn't all that difficult of a skill to train in that version of Gielinor, and the primary training method has loot that stacks, so the perks aren't too attractive. This leaves the primary boon of this relic being the 50% catch rate. So is it worth it? Well, let's take a look at the second relic. Divine Woodcutter is that second relic, and as the name suggests, it grants you a powerful hatchet. With that hatchet equipped, harvested logs and birds' nests are automatically sent to the bank. There's also a toggleable option that automatically burns the logs as well. And that's not all. This axe is divine, so shouldn't we expect that this axe have some benefits for divination, one of RuneScape's resource gathering skills? In this virtual Gielinor, players train divination by harvesting non-stacking memories from wisps and converting them to stacking energy at a nearby rift. This relic enables players to not have to worry about depositing to the rift, as all memories are automatically deposited when harvesting the wisps, as well as making the wisps last even longer for extended low-intensity training, all while having double the harvesting and conversion rate for that energy. Similar to the Animal Wrangler perk, the extra energy is what is interesting here, as the energy is needed to power your gear later on, as it is modified by the invention skill. That's really it though, as the other benefits from this relic can, again, much like the Animal Wrangler, be gotten from archaeology. So does that extra energy beat the last tier 1 relic? Excavator is the final relic in this tier that gives players a Matic pickaxe hybrid that, when equipped, lets the player experience benefits for mining and archaeology. For mining, all ores are automatically smelted, all gems automatically cut, and much like the other two relics, automatically banked as well. For archaeology, the relic is going to increase the rate at which chronotes, a currency used by upgrades at the Archaeology Guild, are obtained, as well as reduce the materials needed to restore artifacts, the items that grant a large chunk of your archaeology experience. Both of these skills also have hotspots in the areas that move around in this version of Gielinor to encourage active skilling, but with this perk, those hotspots are now static for maximum low-intensity gains. If you can't tell, I'm a huge fan of this relic. It supercharges the rate at which you level archaeology, which, as I alluded to while covering the previous two relics, is a very powerful skill. Furthermore, this relic enables you to easily train crafting from the auto-cut gems and smithing from the auto-smelted ores, two skills that are needed to unlock invention. This option seems like the meta pick, especially if you're a RuneScape veteran that knows how ingrained invention and archaeology are in the rest of the game. As for right now, I'm planning on this being our only coverage of the RuneScape Comorb game, as our media outlet is primarily focused on the happenings of events in our real version of Gielinor. That said, many of you are upset that Jagex is not hosting a leagues in the real version of Gielinor this year, so if you would like more coverage, please comment to let us know. I'm desperately trying to get my quiver, but if the people demand coverage of something, I'll try to find time to take a break. As for this week, I had one soul attempt, and it seems like the sailing stress test a while back trolled me a bit, as the experimental GPU plugin made it hard to see some visuals. My biggest change going into this next week is that I am officially swearing off the coliseum.com Comorb app. It was amazing for the Inferno, but after clearing Soul back to back to back in the simulator and then getting stomped in the real fight, it's just too different. Whether it's the gear, cues, delay, or my copium, I think this simulator is what's messing with me. Whatever the actual case is for my lack of a quiver, I'm happy to have you guys tune in to our coverage. It's because of viewers like you that like and subscribe to our broadcasts that we have these weekly broadcasts coming. As of this week, we officially have over 1,000 subscribers, and those podcasters thought that corporate news was dead. Well, we are only just getting started. Back to you at the desk, Walter.
Wow, Weave actually knows quite a bit for having not played RuneScape for almost 6 years. Thank you for the coverage, and good luck, boss. In the real world, adventurers woke up this morning to a notification on their comm orb that a refund had hit their Slayer point account. Why, you may ask? Well, sadly, the Slayer Master Alliance has broken up. This all started almost a decade ago, with Sheldar demanding royalties from higher-level Slayer Masters, citing the fact that adventurers completing higher-level tasks are only doing so because Sheldar and the lower-level Slayer Masters like Vanaka and Machna trained said adventurers. In recent years, the higher-level Slayer Masters have grown wary, as evidence points towards Sheldar having the Fairy Godfather put a hit out on Duradel, who was recently slain by Lucian. While the Knights of Falador concluded that Lucian was not acting at the behest of the Fairy Godfather, Curadel, Duradel's daughter and successor, wasn't convinced. Since the tragic loss of Duradel, other Slayer Masters like Konar and Steve have been growing in suspicion of the lower-level Slayer Masters. Steve even went as far as accusing Sheldar of being responsible for Neve's death almost 10 years ago, as the timeline for her death at the hand of Gluff came just after Sheldar made her first petition for royalties. Both the Fairy Godfather and Sheldar deny any wrongdoing. Thankfully, the Fairy Queen has been in exile from Zenaris for almost 20 years, so this history somehow makes sense. With that history out of the way, the shattered alliance of Slayer Masters now has some context. Since the Masters no longer share a block list, adventurers have been refunded all Slayer points from said block list. Furthermore, the added competition between Slayer task suppliers has resulted in lower prices of Slayer reward shop perks, with the difference between the old and new prices refunded to adventurers. Extra Slayer points aren't all. Slayer Masters are also competing for the attention of adventurers by offering a new dashboard that will help adventurers better decide what creatures to block. Those that block the various Metal Dragon tasks will be excited to hear that all Metal Dragons, bronze through rune, now fall under one task type, Metal Dragons. That itself will free up at least one block slot for many adventurers. Oh, really? Well, it seems like this is the end of the broadcast, and it snuck up on us, folks. The coverage of the Slayer Master changes are going to conclude our broadcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. This has been Walter Mithkite for GNN, signing off.